Welcome on this lovely Sunday. Before the trading you nuked on me just a second ago, I was talking about the volatility index. The thing is, we are heading for a big change, right? Every single time we got technically the new low, as we are doing right now, you form that whole triangle effect of it, and yeah, every single low that you're gonna aim for, that high time frame, gonna start to build up some super high end volatility. That might be the bottom, that might be as well the last one that we're gonna see, or we're gonna nuke through everything. We don't know that yet, but yeah, I'm always cautious when VIX starting to get those spicy lows in after there's some potential of sideways or upwards movement. And it's been a while, right? So the last big volatility event was in December, beginning of year. Well, we almost like there, technically speaking, so we could potentially see some reverse happening on it. Dixie is still holding, surprisingly, actually, because it's been in this whole sideways after a big push into the lows. We got back at the support. All right, really nice one. The major one is still below us. That's the 99 one, so that's the main part of the support that we want to reach. But speaking about the local price action right now, we are still not able to flip 100.1 area. We do settling lower lows, and right now, and technically that used to be right now the higher low, the first one after settling a higher high from previous swing failure. That means we start to change the direction, right, and maybe beginning of a new trend after setting a next higher high. Well, when that's gonna happen, the thing is, we need to regain this level for potentially even getting back at underside retest or a small stop at this hip before we're gonna go higher up. Why? Just because, yes, low time frame and 4 hour or lower, we did broke the structure, but overall trend is still up, right? We didn't break the daily one. We didn't get back below 98-ish. That's the low that you technically don't want to break, because that low brought you all the way into the 101 area. So the interesting part is, for now, we need to get back above $100. That's first, but for changing anything and settling a trend, you just get back below 1.01 ish, if you talk about that kind of specific price action, and that's going to be your target for aiming to go higher up. A lot can change, right, in the next couple of days and weeks. We still have some data coming in, events. We have monthly sales, not that important, but the thing is, the housing starts get back into the market, so we could potentially some numbers on that, pearls. And again, we have some meetings going on, so volatility likes those kind of events. We are flattening out on the oscillation. We are kind of quite low on the outflow. We've been in minus 50. We bounced back from that in minus 16. Still negative, but potentially there is some inflow coming in, right? We did see it, same thing over here happening, right? From the lows, grinding into the highs. You did a big retest and you have a continuation. When if that's happened, yeah, the market's gonna be cooked. So it's going to be interesting, definitely, but some things to watch out for. Overall market, that means the alt market is super flat. I don't recall seeing this kind of price action since quite a long time. Yeah, I think that's going to be back into previous bear market. We need to look into it. This flat out all sideways price action is quite a chop for alts. Not really significant. Something to watch out for. I mean, there are still some potential levels to look out for, like 640. Losing that low, it's down. Regaining 668. That's the first high that you need to regain on the high time frame. Could potentially be changing the structure, but then that's the whole main area. You going back at a high of 68, right? and we might potentially see some bigger stuff happening. Well, if that's happen, then we potentially gonna see some alts coming back to life, and that's a good one. If not, we still could potentially aim to go lower. There are some big changes on gold, right? We've been talking about that. We had a really nice regain of 4.1. That's done, and technically already the 4.2, no, even 3, sorry, 4.3 is done as well. We regained that, so that's already good. We did regain the previous highs, that's fine. Now we need to settle down on higher low, and that's going to be your potential uptrend and change of the whole character that we've been dealing with. Let's see if that's going to be the case for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's a really nice push. There's nice strength into it. You do see already a massive inflow of it. So yeah, potentially we could come back even into 4.09, or if we're going to start holding, and that's going to be massive, on 4.2. So for example, you have this whole big push, you don't come back at the lows, and you start to grind this out. Yeah, that's going to be massive outburst, right? Because then you start to do like from the sell-off accumulation, you have the buyback, you settle the range above everything, not even coming back, and you're just gonna melt some faces again. So that's a really good one. Let's see how we're gonna be dealing with it, but so far it's a good strength, right? Now we need to wait for the confirmation of it. Same thing on silver. Moving on silver, that's same thing. Nice sideways price action. You regain your previous 60 level and 63-ish area. So right now, staying above that, coming back, same area. You could potentially grind it out and get back higher, or come back at least in the 58 to retest that high from it, and then getting back at 60, 70-ish area. So that's potentially the next target for it, right? Regaining that's gonna be massive outburst into the 89. But first, gold, and then the rest gonna follow. And you might see even silver going hand in hand right now, because from that whole big breakout, they tend to like trade together. Gold is of course a little more extended, but silver is still following up. Moving on oil, still in this small range from the lows that you settled of 66, and then regaining of 92. You have the bit of pullback into the support quite nicely, and now you are still holding. Well, this is still potentially aiming to go lower. Still, you're not gonna break out from it and settle a bigger price action into the high of $100. Well, if we want that, that's a secondary, something that you might not even think about it. But yeah, of course, we still have this big inflow on oil. We technically having already bullish divergence on it, so we potentially could be back at the 102, 101-ish area. So this is still bullish for oil, unfortunately. This is what it is. We broke this high time frame structure. We come back at the support. Now we are testing previous levels to go higher, or maybe even sticking in this sideways move for a range of at least 107 to 67-ish area for a while. So that could be the big case for it, right? So yeah, not something that we look at it, but yeah, it is what it is. And unfortunately, this is a little bit more event driven, or at least how the mood is of the big orange clown. SPX still in the big uptrend. We just again settled a new all-time high on it, so this is still continuation. There is still a massive inflow of it, so nothing to be worried about. That's going to be changing. We are settling a divergence already on it, because we had the reversal sign. Strength is coming down. Cash flow is still aimed to go higher, and the price action is still following. So till we're not gonna see anything major breaking, at least below 7.7-ish area, there is not even a single thing that you should go against it. Nasdaq is a little bit different, because Nasdaq is right now at this finest resistance of 30.1-ish area. So that's the resistance that you technically right now in. So that's been gone from the lows that you settled. That was a massive break. we start to regain stuff. And this is something that's gonna definitely not gonna hold us for long, in my opinion. We're gonna see some major price action for Nasdaq as well, just because we did the whole low sentiment, I think, for it. So far, it's aimed to go higher. And even if you are right now in this big and massive resistance, I would not go against that. Not till I'm gonna see some break of definitely 4 hour-ish area. So far, every single pullback we've bowed up, and we are. This is even like, if you think about it, massive V-bottom structure forming. Not something clean and significant, but it's a quite perfect buyback, in my opinion. So yeah, I would not go against that. Overall, on the stocks, it's a little bit different story. Not all of them are performing that well. Still, there are some of them are struggling and breaking some stuff to the downside. So the M7 is kind of changing, and the whole performance of it and strength. So let's see, we might even form a new Max 7 for the next couple cycles. So let's see how that's gonna be. But so far, yeah, not much changing. SpaceX, really clean. We came back on the side retest of the whole shenanigans, but we lost. We are still in this whole shareholding shenanigans. I've been pointing it out, kind of like trying to see if that's going to be playing out. It's something that I'm looking at it, because that's going to be a really good accumulation period for it, if that's going to be the case. So we got the first shareholding sell-off happening and profit taking. Next one's going to be as well half massive than the first one. The first one was the biggest one, and they're going to be 3 of them kind of the same. The last one is going to be a little more slower, and then there's going to be a lot of leftovers. So I'm kind of looking for this kind of structure that we might see, setting a low, setting a higher high, and then the first higher low that you settle, that's going to be the trigger for it to blast it off. So let's see if that's going to be the case. It's going to be definitely interesting to watch. And of course, our lovely war dogs blasting off as well. I'm going to put them on monthly and weekly, so it's a little more cleaner, right? Still in the whole big continuation, and most of them are fucking hell again, all-time high on that one. So yeah, it's something is cooking. Definitely not a piece area right now, and definitely something is preparing, or even here this play out I was showing to someone, I guess. So yeah, still uptrending, still all things that you can say about it is still good to go higher up. That's good for us, that's something else. On the other hand side, something to mention as well, still nothing changed on that perspective on USDT. We are still breaking it lower, and we literally just last week we settled F again and another lower low on that one. So the continuation is there. Now the only thing that I'm watching is the second one, and that's the USDC. Last time we had that break of the structure after we did settle higher high, was the same thing on the bear market stuff. And that was a little more massive, because if you start to take profit or selling off USDC, meaning most likely, and that's 99%, people are switching over to fiat. So there it is, right? We are quite close. We didn't do it yet, but we are quite close to it to break it. That's going to be interesting if that's going to be happening. So yeah, that's overall market. Yeah, that's overall market. We have some really nice inflow happening, like always on Sunday. Over here, something changing? No, that's not changing anything. And let's have a look on the daily. We still are in this big inflow of commodities and stocks right now. That's the priority. There is the inflow. That's the money where it goes, right? Even XMR had a massive inflow again, meaning the old school guys who are like to off-ramping crypto into XMR, they are still buying it up. So the inflow is there, and it's not in the crypto, because as you can see, Bitcoin came down from 11% on the daily time frame into the -23, right? And that's not only with the Dixie and VIX moving higher, on the daily side, it's just because all the rotation is coming into the stocks and commodities and different kind of sentiment of markets. So yeah, even only hype, it's kind of keeping up with the inflow. So that's quite good to see. Moving on, finally, the daily perspective. We are still in a massive flip of scenario, right? Last time we've been there, that was in the beginning of end of June, sorry. So almost 2 months ago, we see a quite big rotation, and we are already like in higher on the price action. So we could technically, like what we are doing right now is a little bit fuck around, like going back and forward between the inflows. Same thing that we did over here for a while before we're gonna settle down on the direction. But the big thing is we are changing in the whole inflow rotation, meaning that money goes out. So right now we do have that hidden divergence, so that's good. Last time we had it, right? Last time we had it, that was as well from the bottom that we created, and this is something to watch out for because we technically playing exact the same structure, also in a little bit more sideways on the top, but in perspective of the view, we've been on the support on this price action while we created a hidden divergence. What we are having right now exactly on the support, meaning we could have that one more right momentum into the high, like 63, 66, or even like into the 64-ish area. We could that have potential bounce from it, and then we're just gonna just following and looking through what we did from after that hidden divergence played out. So let me put this back. Nice inflow, like always on a Sunday. It's coming in hot, and let's see how we're going to be ending up. There is much more to it than only the inflow. There's much more on the structure side and perspective. 1 hour ish. Well, the only thing that we are still aiming is to get back at 63.5. That's the resistance area for us. We are right now taking most of the core liquidity of 150x's, so good. We are the squeeze potential right now playing out, so we are squeezing out most of the shorts, so that's good. Getting back at the resistance. Let's see if that's going to be the continuation, or we're going to aim a little more higher in the open resistance that left behind at 64-ish area. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, inflow is strong, that's fine, but the strength as well comes into the oversold area, and we could easily turn around from this area, or even a little more higher up. Moving on, 4 hour, quite clear as well where we are. We are heading to the resistance. We had the bearish hidden divergence playing out as well. We went lower, and now we setting that leg up. Right now, inflow is right now quite nicely. It came in on Saturday, so surprising actually about that. Well, not often that you see that, but it's still good. So what we are doing right now is technically we're bouncing from this last super insignificant support, because this is the last leg that could potentially hold us, and it does, right, for that potential bounce back at the resistance. That's the last one. After that, there is nothing else that's gonna hold you, because all of this been tested, and the next leg down is like 60 sub thing. So definitely interesting, but just the bounce, just the inflow of Sunday trading volume like always, and right now we are back at the resistance. So this is as well area, if you are late short, that's a scalp area right now, right? Personal, I will look a little bit more higher up, something like 63.6, or even at least at 64-ish area, that resistance, because that's the mid-range. Most likely you're gonna take all of those shorts out, and then you're just gonna turn around, right? That's the main area, because that's the higher high from the low that you settled. So yeah, great stuff. Really nice volatility right now. Nice spike. We had some sideways going on. We didn't break Technically, that was a sneaky break on the 4 hour, but yeah, we reversed that quite quickly. Really nice. So if you are like looking for a short perspective, then here it is. And if you not sure about it, then you can borrow Stu fibs. Or maybe I need to switch to Stu fibs. Those are a little bit more different fibs. So there is one, right? And this is the second one. Oh, plays out with my resistance as well. Pulled, so those are the two ones. But yeah, we are getting into it. Really, really nice. And I'm really considering if we're gonna get back at 64, I'm gonna big time reshorting it as well. But so far, so good. Still continuation, not much changing. But the funny part of this whole situation right now is the weekly one, because Sunday we're gonna have a weekly open in 7 hours, and that's gonna be the most important one, because let me just do this, do that. Why is it important? Well, first thing first, 59.4 was the lowest peak on the weekly close, right? That was the lowest one. Then before that, the highest one was at 65.7. And we never revisit that. I mean, yeah, we did revisit, but we didn't regain that one. So we didn't settle any higher highs from that perspective. Technically, this is still downtrending then, if we didn't break the structure on it. Well, we did had 4 weeks straight up, 1 week downside, not something significant, but yeah, there was a break on it, and we had a reversal trading momentum. The second after that, it was the retest of the high that you failed from. So that is a retest. And now the third one, going back again, retesting the high. And it's pushing us lower. Where do you end up? Well, you end up finally breaking weekly structure. So this is the major break of weekly high time frame structure. If we're gonna close a weekly candle below 63.6, that's massive. After Jesus, we've been here for like 70 days. My God. So yeah, 70 days sideways, like always we have from the whole massive dump. We go sideways, we do some fucking around, and then collecting the longs and shorts, obviously. And now it's the momentum for, are we gonna change something? Yes or no, right? How do you decide that? Well, we need to see some closes. The only important close right now is above the previous weekly or below that. That's the only one. Nothing else matters, right? And quoting Metallica, you need to close above 63.4 or below that. That's the line in the sand. Because closing below, you have your continuation. Closing above, you have your continuation. Right? One of those two things happened. When does that happen? It only depends on the close. So yeah, that's the whole trick about it. Nothing else. Monthly, not that important. We still have 2 weeks to go. Daily side, everything been already tested, everything been already broken. So there is already, for the daily perspective, the same thing. You need to get back above 63.6. So this is your daily close. Anything above the weekly, previous weekly, is positive. Below, it's negative. That's how you can see it. So yeah, like always on Sunday, I hope you guys already get used to that one. We have a big inflow, massive candles, super positive. What's most important? Where are we and what we are doing? So we are coming from the lows, right? Jesus, trading view. We are coming from the lows. We have the inflow. That's nice, but overall it's downtrending. The previous swing failure is at 63.4. The next one is at 64.2. That's it. Trend. Well, from the previous high, this is the trend. overall trend, like high time frame, is technically sideways, because that's what we've been doing since beginning of July. Already a month long sideways, as it not almost 2 months sideways price action. So typical for this kind of period of market. So yeah, this is still make it or break it, and the only thing that's holding you here is massive support of people buying its spot and adding to the long positions. Now, talking about that, what's happening right now? Well, longs on 1 hour are fucking 67-ish%. That's something to think about it while we are uptrending in local price action, meaning, and daily wise we are at 68. Wow. So what's happening over here? Every single time we came into this price action of the range of, technically this is the mid of the range, right? We talk about that. This is your high, this is your low, this is your mid range. 63, everyone in the mother god, it's longing the shit out of this price action. And that's good. We need that, right? We need that build up. We need all of the longs. We need the liquidity for it to have a continuation to go lower. That will be super different, and I will be the first one who's gonna tell you, like, I'm going long massively and I'm buying the shit out of it if we will be at this support and the shorts will increase and longs will flip into the like downside. So this will be flipped. That will be different. I would say, like, boy oh boy, you just put your house on it and we go from that perspective. But that's not the deal right now. I would like to show you the order books on open market or whatever it's the name, but they are fucked and I cannot set it up because they nuked the settings again on it. And the only thing that I can show you that's correct, what I so far I can see, is the interest info still rising, right? So every single time we have that, well, nasty things can happen after that. Funny thing is that Coinbase is kind of nuking the spots heavily, and right now you see a small flip, like every single Sunday, massively been buying it up. So yeah, the rest is a little bit flat. Binance is quite heavy spot buying it, so if that starts to flip, yeah, we're gonna see some nasty things. Same thing what happened over here. If you still remember the price action of beginning over here in August, right? The whole beginning of the sell-off. So yeah, that potentially could happen as well. But so far, Coinbase been still selling out, and right now it's small beginning of it that start to buy it, but that's normal on Sundays. Most cases, de-whopping stuff. Let me switch this back. Cool. So yeah, that's a little bit on Bitcoin in a nutshell. Not much to adding to that one. So yeah, point of interest 63.3. The rest is above and around 64. Nothing else. This is still downtrending no matter what. We are a little bit more like longer sideways period than what we used to have over here, and this is still, weirdly enough, after the whole uptrend with small, like, quote unquote dump from it, we are stairgating lower, right? So this potentially can end up in two ways: settling a little bit more support, doing one more and then do the dump, or we just gonna slowly like nuke from it on low volume, because volume been quite low, and this is something that most people maybe don't see or don't follow it. So here's the yellow stripes are the price action of Bitcoin so far, and the lines is the whole inflow of volume, right? So look at that, previous bull cycle. And what did we do after that? Well, the price gets bigger, so volumes start to get more aggressively heavy, you can say that. And technically what we are doing right now is we have this whole uptrend sideways and then starting to curve over, right? So imagine we are coming from 257 billion to 70 right now ish area. So yeah, it's something to consider as well. It's something weird about it, but it's still getting lower and lower in volume, right? I don't think we're gonna get back below 30 this cycle. It's gonna go for like some time before it's gonna get higher up, but I don't think we're gonna get lower than that, because that's gonna be quite massive and dramatic changing for the bear market. But that's gonna be something we should watch out for, because you know as well, and I think you hear that about it, like all of the not really most, like couple exchanges already like closing the doors. We have a lot of shenanigans going on with the cold wallets. So that Black Swan event, like, believe me, it's kind of close. I have a feeling it's gonna be bad for a while. So yeah, it's cooking. So yeah, let's have a look how that's gonna be outgoing. But so far, yeah, it's still a little bit more sideways, downtrending, and technically losing already like 62k, like this low, 62.2k. Yeah, it's not much that you're gonna hold us. The only thing that's will probably like setting some boundaries or like bounce areas is only on the order blocks. So yeah, oh yeah, and look at that, like big ass squeeze as well from both sides. Like not only have massive order blocks in your resistance area, as in over here as well, close by, you coming from the big order book that's been already tested so many times, so that one start to get weaker and loosely a little more less important, and now you are squeezing in between the two big orders. So yeah, it's gonna be Rack City sooner or later. I don't think the bottom is in yet, definitely not. It's gonna be a little bit too easy on everything, and I don't think the max pain came in yet in the game. So I think there is still more coming, and we technically still have like 3 months of bear market, so nothing yet is gonna change that early. Why I'm thinking that? So over here, can I? Yes, I can. So over here as well, right? When did the bear market ended? Technically, you would say it ended over here. That's just on the inflow, but it wasn't confirmed. Where did we confirm it? 2 months after that, on this candle. Why? Well, simply enough, because that candle over here did settle higher high from the previous low high that you settled over here. After that, you had a lower low. You need to regain this for any confirmation. So this month didn't regain. You couldn't know that we're gonna break out from it. The second month didn't break out from it, but the third month did. After that, you had a pullback, and that was your go time. So do you still think you're not gonna be ready, or you're gonna be missing out on something? Then don't worry, you don't. Because if we think we are somewhere like in this area, for that higher low perspective, you still have 500 days approximately. So where does that leave us from here to March? So yeah, November, we are over here, right? That was the bottom. Technically, we could see that as well. Then you have the new year. March approximately could be the first inflow of everything, and then you're gonna see some higher lows settling around end of next year. And that was exactly the same thing what happened over here, right? We had the beginning of the year, January, and then September and last year we did settle this. So you still have plenty of time to buy even this or to buy this, and it doesn't matter if you buy the low or not, as close as possible. Okay, so yeah, let's have a look on this price action. Look at that, perfectly 1 hour. People still telling me that structure doesn't matter. Awesome, to the freaking T. And this is as well good indication of squeeze potential. Smyrn teach that quite a lot. So we had a full weekend on from Friday lows into the Saturday highs already. A big squeeze, what's playing out right now. Big inflow, keeping up the price. Volume still decent. Strength is okay, but now we are aiming into the high of the strength, so reversal potentials, yep, coming in hard. And then still we have some room to run, and there it is, right? If you believe more in Stu Fips, then here it is. That's your pocket. If not, then there is one more, a little bit bigger, but that's gonna be massive because you're gonna take out all of the 150x's with a little bit more of 20, so that reverse sign, that's gonna be heavy, and maybe that's gonna be the case. So yeah, that's all from my side, I guess. Is there anything else from you guys? No questions? Everything clear? Did you guys like my mind game? Or you didn't like it? Try something new, but I love it. So let's go for XMR. Yeah, I mean, here it is, right? XMR. Why? Why is this technically still important? Because like I said, most old school, old traders, like fucking dinosaurs, I think, they are still selling this for this, meaning the rotation of capital. So yeah, if that goes ballistic, most likely that's not going well, and it's going there. So yeah, and still look at this pocket, and that's on a daily. That's perfect, picture perfect. A weekly size, that's still massive to change, and look at that. Well, SPX, Nasdaq, XG, silver is picking up. Where's Bitcoin? Oh, where's the total market? Where's ETH? Not talking about hype. Hype is a little bit more outlier for the crypto, but yeah, USDC and T, right down. It's a massive change. Where we came from, what we used to do, it's a quite ballistic one. So, yep, there it is. Following money 101. Here as well, right? Big change. Like, you can't deny that shit. Every single time you had that small range in between, fine, before the full capitalization of it, and like mooning to the other side. Oof. But we cannot deny we are still in this range, right? Till we break out from it. And oh my god, I saw it so many already on X. Like, this is like, yeah, arguing You have your fucking head and shoulders whatsoever pattern and whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we are in a broken structure. We are sideways. The inflow of capital is outgoing, so that's negative. That's no go, and that's no bueno for crypto. So lower price action, still positive, right? I'm aiming still for the sub 60-ish and 58, right? That potentially is gonna be a hold as well after running all of the liquidity. We could go sideways, bounce back, do some mid-range or maybe even high, run the highs and then nuke. That's gonna be ballistic, but yeah, possible. I don't think we're gonna go straight into the lows, but I would be surprised if that's the case. Ooh. Look at that. Let's go Stu style. Oh. Ooh, look at that perfect reversal on the fucking picobello high on the structure. Awesome. Love it. Like this, all of this is noise. This is noise. The only thing what matters is this, and where the price is heading into. So from between those 2 points, we are going here. No matter what's here happening, you don't look at this. Great stuff. Awesome. Really, really lovely. So yeah, no questions. I like it as well. Nice. Nice. Okay. Any other tokens that you like to look at, guys, or want to look at it? Hype, it's still sideways. Really nice locally structure, right? But still same perspective, right? From the downside, right? You broke your massive low. Like, no joke, that's ballistic. So yeah, the only thing that still could save you to go higher up, and like I said, Q3 before, that could be the place as well, retesting the mid high, but first thing first, 59.8. If not, you can run it even 62-ish. That's the goal. So yeah. Baba. Fucking is this another shitcoin, meme coin? Oh, that's Alibaba. Oh, I thought it's meme coin shit. Yeah, like. Well, it's in a broken structure, so not really much to say about that. And on the set retesting already, that's fine. And set retest, perfect. So here it is, your weekly chart. Stu's gonna be happy about that. Daily base, holding, fading, close below. Yeah. So I guess they are tokenized. What's the full ticket doing? Do I have Alibaba over here? Oh, dang. That's rough, mate. What the fuck happens to them? Oh, isn't that because of Temu? Oh, some bullshit came out? Or AliExpress or whatsoever? What the fuck was that? Or is that not the same thing? I have no clue. Anyway, yeah, it's no bueno. Oh, they had a dividend paid out. Holy shit. That's well, someone did wrong calculations. Holy fuck. Not surprised. Every single year. Yeah. Weird. But yeah, I do not care that much about them. But yeah, it's good that they have tokenized, but still. AVAX. It's been a while I look at AVAX. I mentioned this as well, like I guess beginning of the month, somewhere over here. I'm gonna stay on daily because like this sideways, like I said, like after nuking it from $10 into the 5, like you halfway down, right? Like massively keep up of it. Like this maintenance area for you to keep up and not nuking lower, yeah, it's heavy. And you really see that in this nasty range. I mean, nasty for people that might not like to trade it, but like easily way is like you set up your you short from area of 6.8 ish and you long every single thing from $6. So in between $1 you can set up a beautiful hedge positions. So yeah, even buying it at spot and selling it over here, like that's pinpointed awesomely. Like still that range is beautiful, but yeah, it's a nasty one both ways, no matter what you do, and still it plays out as accurate it is, right? So yeah, you had your loss of the swing failure over here, right? You came down and that was broken structure already, so you potentially can even go lower or hold on it to get back, and then again and again wreck both ways constantly, just because you need that liquidity to provide for the token to settle down. But yeah, it's still sideways. There is nothing major change daily wise. It's a nasty weak city, to be honest with you. Like AVAX came down from like awesome trading period to like, bro, this stuff, like beginning the bear market and like what we are doing right now, it's not because they want to play nasty, it's because they need to fucking keep up with the volume and everything on market making stuff. So yeah, they're gonna do some weird shit and a little bit more outside the books. So there you have it, right? This is the low volume area. So far, like still not much is changing for AVAX, right? Like personal, like this is the area that you still gonna trade between. Like no joke. Sorry, this and this. So between 6.9 and $6, that's your range. Till you're gonna see something otherwise. Right, failing 5.8, yeah, you go lower. Regaining $7, fuck, you might change this whole perspective into the change of character, right? But yeah, both of those things need to happen. Before that, it's gonna be this. So not really something, I'm not even like, yeah, I'm buying spot, but I'm not trading this. I'm not bothered. Like this is a little bit too much and I don't have time for it even, so. Even. When did I been here? That played perfect out. Getting back at 102. So far, yeah, I mean, you are That's rough because you went from this into this, so your structure is already broken. Well, that said, you are back at the support, literally Q3, so anything from here is retesting the weekly. If you end along, that's your TP. Regaining the weekly, you might potentially get back at Q2, and I'm not gonna be surprised if we're gonna go from this to that, right? So you're gonna do something like this. So watch it, because if you lose your Q3 right now, get below $80, this is your next support. Literally here, before you're gonna aim for anything here. How is the weekly looking? Yeah, that's rough. Here, closing the weekly over here, it's gonna be Rec City. That's rough, because so far you didn't break anything below $88 on a high time frame. This weekly candle gonna be determined what you're gonna do. Still, potentially after any bad close, you can have this to wreck all of the shorts before you're gonna do that. So, yep, watch it. This is your let me know what's how this is gonna be playing out. Is your weekly low that you can or technically want whatsoever you, in which direction you want to trade, but this is your level not to lose. That's a really good buyback on the monthly. Yeah, not much about that. Same thing here happens, right? So look at that. You had all of this uptrend, right? Even you had this big sell-off, you still wasn't positive on it, right? You had all this uptrend. What happened the first time you closed your weekly badly? That's below here, and even you went lower here. Ding, 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 ding. What's happened over here? Perfect close. Next candle, Rec City, down. It's so easy to play a high time frame. It's crazy easy. So yeah, but you still could do something like this nasty thing as closing the weekly picture perfect, like technically you've been wrecking it over here. You have reversal, so wreck all the shorts over here, and then it's ding 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 to the downside. So yeah, grass, holy shit, that's been a while. Is that token still alive, by the way? Which token? Oh, that played out, I guess. Jesus, which token's been as well, like coming, like when they come up with grass together? We had multiple of them, right? Grass, and there was one more, fucking aka AI based token that was so hyped about it. I don't remember the rest of it, but grass, Jesus, this still is alive. Griffane, that was the one. Yeah, Griffane. There was one more, AI something, there was in a name. Well, anyway, fucking hell. Yeah, what to say about that? Not much yet. Well, yeah, from the beginning of the whole downtrend, you had a bounce of 2x. Well, happy days. I don't think people are gonna be happy about that when they bought it over here, but anyway, besides what I'm thinking about it is same thing, right? You had this nice uptrend and the 2x uptrend, and look what you did. Well, what happened over here? It's easy on the daily. Yeah. So what did we do? Right? Higher high, higher low, lower high, and then you start to change your direction over here a little bit. You're still holding on the support massively, right? This is your mega support on it, and I think that's the only one so far, right? You had the blast off, get all of the liquidity, come back, retest the previous high, and a failure. Now, what do we do right now is technically same thing. So you're starting to break your major structure with even the previous low, right? That's been already broken, right? This is on the wick, this on the candle. So weekly sides, there we have it. This is the first time you break the weekly. Let me erase this. This is the first time you starting to break the weekly, and technically it's your second go on the low structure, because this is your prior low that you're still holding. That's fine, but this one is broken, this one is broken, and this is broken already. Same thing what happened over here. You had that outblast, right? Came back down, and then you didn't do that anymore. So you came down, low, break, and now you have a small inflow after this support. So not much. Personal, okay, let's say you are in the long right now, or you bought something over here. The only thing that I will do is like be aware of your TPs. That means I will that's one high low, yeah, 0.37 TP1, TP2 at 40, and then earn the set retest of Q4. If you are lucky, you're gonna get back at 0.5. Right, those are the levels for the TPs, if not the resistance. But then still, like, I'm not sure even how much involvement have this still in crypto. So it's still on Binance, weirdly. Bybit doesn't have Maxi, not surprised. Qcoin, not surprised. Okay, Gate and Q. So the only reasonable are Bybit, BitGet, Blowfin, and OKX. Okay, so there is still some volume on it and still some upkeep. Okay, weirdly enough. But personal, I will not even bother at all to invest anything into it. I mean, like right now, not much you can lose from it, right? It's still like if you invest like still 100% into the zero, but it's gonna be less painful from buying $3, right, or 3.5 or whatsoever that people did, and run it all the way down. So yeah, spot, yeah, go nuts. Leverage, I will not even fucking try this. This is something that I don't like. Rec City both ways. So, oh yeah, Griefane, that was right. Is that still alive? I guess so. Well, not for long. Boy. Damn. Holy fuck. Rough time. Yeah. Nope. I'm not doing that. Is there anything else? Yeah, still that. Cool. BNB had a nice run into the resistance, quite massive one. Plus that's underside retest. Let's see how deep it can go. Will it break 500? He was providing, I remember, I think, that she was doing that. Grief. On that massive drop, I mean, which one? Choose one. Yeah. It's a painful one, yeah. Well, you had a nice run up over here, but that's one golden nugget, and after that you're gonna be fucking Rec City forever, so nah. From the toppy top, nice. Nice. don't do that shit anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it's a special kind trading environment. It's something that you should like on the side and like passive stuff and not like your main stuff, because it's crazy. Auto programs for it, yeah. Oh, for sure it's full automated. I'm not denying that, and yeah, 100%. 100%. But yeah, not much else to talk about it, I guess. If you guys have questions. How is our mother of meme coins doing? Yeah, same thing. Exact same thing as Bitcoin. A little more higher from the support. Still, if have a little bit more support below it, people are still crazy to buy this shit. And untouched and untested levels below, so yeah, that might go a little bit more steadier in a range, lower, something like this over here. Yeah, that could be the case. Yeah, getting here, back, and then starting to fail. Well, cool. Let me have a look on this. Shitty. Yeah, nice. Still at the resistance, so watch it. Still 6.5 hours to go for the weekly open, so it's gonna be interesting. At least you know where we are at the resistance first, right? Regaining that, so meaning you're gonna get back above the weekly. What's still possible after you have the close, for example, like below the weekly, and you still can go higher up to retest stuff before you're gonna do the nuke. But then the confirmation was there on the close, so interesting at this finest, I guess. Not much to talk about it. It's gonna be quiet before the storm. There is some liquidity below us still, but like I said, open market is fucking weird. I think they're doing some big updates, like I was reading about it. So anyway, if there are no questions, then thank you very much. Appreciate you all, and I will see you next Wednesday. See ya.